Here we are.
What was that face?
It's my. You can hear the face over the radio. It's.
It's the face. I want to just show it to the world.
You don't want to be trapped in a room with it, though.
I really don't.
How you doing, Harley?
I'm good, if not a little bit terrified.
A
little bit terrified
Sexually.
of your face.
No.
But yeah, no, I'm very good. It's been a good weekend.
Welcome to the Harley and Josh show, ladies and gentlemen. Full disclaimer: get a bingo card ready.
Yeah, we're probably gonna cross off a couple of lines today,
definitely.
Okay, I think maybe we should do that. We should maybe have 2 lines. I think I think we can make 2 lines. If you can make 2 lines,
people aren't even making one at the moment. We've got to do this because you'll get yourself a free personalised jingle.
Yes,
ask Victoria Bennett. Ask David Brown. They're wonderful.
They are. So
just like our listeners.
You are all wonderful.
On our radio.
Yeah.
So what you been doing, boy?
Well, I've been doing music stuff, really.
Really?
It's kind of the premise of the show. I'm surprised you haven't got it right now.
Okay, it's been a year.
Yeah.
It took me a little while here.
Awkward. It was great last week with Tom, wasn't it?
Yes. What such a knowledgeable man.
Yes, he is, and it was
talking about touring, just talking about booking agents, talking about sort of like just music industry in general. If you want to listen to that, that's on our YouTube channel, it's on our iTunes. Are we on Spotify? We're not on Spotify, are we?
No, they're well like iffy on podcasts and stuff, but I don't think it's
much expensive.
I think they're just very particular about the quality, and it needs to be officially done. And
they set the bar too low if we're not allowed on there.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like having their podcasts on Spotify because they're not easy to work with as a company. And
really?
A lot of people don't listen to podcasts on Spotify.
No, I actually only found out they do podcasts on Spotify a couple of weeks back.
Yep, they've been doing it 2 years.
Mad.
I know. I tried listening to them, listening to my podcast via Spotify because I like having less apps.
Right.
Just before the show, I was showing my various different music playing apps on my home screen because I've got Spotify, Podcast Addict, and Audible because I've started getting into audiobooks. Ooh. This is not an advert.
It is. Yes. Pause here to skip the advert. Whatever. Whatever. Go to Skillshare.com. Other Skillshares are available.
Yes, of course. Your shave is looking good today.
Thank you, yes.
It is the Harry's and Josh show.
Yes. Mac Weldon antimicrobial shavers. No, it's not what it is. But right, so so musically, you've been a very, very busy bee.
I have. Well, as we were talking about Mr. Tom McCarthy, because
Mr. McCarthy!
The very next day after we recorded the radio show, me and Mr. David Brown went to Norwich to see Skid Row and Cult Classics.
On Skid Row.
And it was incredible. It was really good. I tell you what, it was quite funny. On the way there, I text Josh. No, I didn't text Josh. I text Tom. I don't want to talk to you. No, I text Tom to say, we're on our way.
You did text me while you were there, though.
Did I text you?
You sent me a little picture of Tom on stage, and
oh yeah, that was in the group chat, wasn't it?
Oh, I just went.
Handsome boy with his full-on fro. He went full-on fro.
Full fro.
It was great. Mm-hmm. But on the way there, Tom texted me saying, I've been watching Skid Row sound check and stuff. It's kind of sick. Trying to work out where I recognise the singer from. He was the singer from Dragon Force.
No
the
way.
Original singer, the one that did Fire in the Flames.
Incredible.
And I went, what? They did other songs?
Ooh,
oh, sassy heart.
Burn on a dragon.
Yeah. Dragon Force degree burns.
Hey, got there.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Dragon Force.
So and I mean they were awesome, great band. I didn't know any of the songs, so I was kind of sitting.
Not even 18 in life, you got it.
No,
18 in life, you know. No,
you should be the new singer. You should be the next singer.
Nope.
But yeah, they were just awesome. I say I didn't know any of the songs, but David was right at the front for that because he was a big fan of Skid Row.
Nice.
So he was absolutely lapping it up.
Because he showed me a cover Skid Row did a little while back of, I think it was a Hendrix track. I think it was All Along the Watchtower.
Right.
Or no, it was Little Wing. He
yeah.
showed me a cover of ages ago, and I was like, "Oh, who's this?" And yeah, I was really, really surprised. because obviously a great guitarist.
Yeah.
But it does take a lot of guts to cover Hendrix.
Yeah, I like the chord pattern on Little Wing because it's a 7 chord pattern. It essentially
that
plays.
Does do borrowed chords all the time.
Oh yeah.
That you're like sitting there going, that isn't in the key. You're like, doesn't matter. It's Hendrix.
Well, I think it plays all the
Jazzy
chords
Hendrix.
in a C major scale, even though it's in G.
But no, because he switches between E major and minor as well. So it was
Yeah.
kind of, you
Oh,
get
yeah, it does,
modal
yeah.
stuff, and there you get sort of C mixolydian, G
Yeah.
mixolydian, you get A mixolydian. It's really crazy because he just adds 7s wherever there shouldn't be 7s. But you're
That's
listening
right, yeah.
to that technique, and you're like, wow, I don't care.
And
It doesn't clash because
I always call it it's secret jazz.
yeah, secret jazz.
You don't think of Little Wing as being that kind of musical, but it's just
It's like a speakeasy.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course, yeah, it is. But yeah, like, so how was Tom's set though?
Their set
Aaron Buchanan, the
was
Pop Classics.
awesome. Yeah, they came out and just absolutely just hit it home.
Yeah.
You can, when you see a band, there were 3 lineup. I didn't actually see the second band because we were outside catching up with Tom after, between them and Skid Row, and when you see a band like that come out first, and I do sometimes wonder whether they put the better band as the opener to really to get the crowd going, because it's exactly what they did.
Murray and I were talking about this earlier because Murray is playing with Impilo at Borderlands this weekend, and he's opening up with Impilo. He's the first band.
Yeah.
And I've done that in multiple festivals recently where they've said, can you play later on? I'd be like, I'd rather not. I'd rather be able to keep the evening free so I can get a full paying gig.
Yeah.
And open up the festival. And I actually prefer that because I think if I go to a festival and I see a professional band starting it up, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Don't just chuck on, my mate's kid's got an acoustic act, we'll chuck them on first. Like, no, put on a big act.
Yeah.
Then, people will turn up to see the big act.
Yeah.
And then, if your mate's kid wants to play acoustic for the first gig ever, he's already got a crowd to play to.
He might thrive with a big crowd, but might not know how to rile them up to the point to get there.
Uh-huh.
So to give that kid a step up.
So that's what I think bands like us are for, is just for really setting the tone and getting the crowd ready for it, warming it up. But yeah, sorry, you were saying about Aaron.
And yeah, I mean, thing is, bands like with Lockabillys and stuff, you're opening and headlining when you're doing most gigs because you're there. You're the entertainment of the whole evening. Mm-hmm. So you've learned how to front a band and be the top list as well as being the first guy on stage.
Hey.
My favourite thing was, have you seen John Mayer live in LA?
No. What is that? Not the Try one?
No.
With Pino.
Oh yes, that
is that Nate Smith?
No,
who plays drums for that one? Stevens.
Yes, Steve. I can't remember.
Steve Stevens. No, it's not.
But yeah, so he did a acoustic. He opened up with an acoustic set.
Oh yeah.
Then he did the John Mayer trio.
Yeah.
Then he did the full band, and it was great because a couple of songs in the acoustic said, "Hi, I'm just opening up." I met the headlines. Real cool guy, real handsome.
What a douche.
And yeah, but it was.
I also like John Mayall.
Yes. I like Rick Mail.
I hope they play. I'd love to see those 3 people on stage together. Oh, that's a funny song.
I've seen a very good video of Rick Mail fronting the Jules Holland band.
Wow.
For a blues song, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for trouble, just look at my face. Anyway, yeah. So
yes. So they absolutely hit it home. It was great. It went from, like I say, a very dispersed crowd.
Did they have a merch table?
They did. Yes,
nice.
I bought a t-shirt.
Nice.
I now have a t-shirt with Tom's face on.
I was actually very, very close to buying one of those t-shirts a while back.
Yeah,
I'd need to actually now. Now we can turn up and match. Oh my God.
We can match.
Is this the one with Tom's got a little revolver on as well?
Yeah.
Oh, and a cowboy hat.
We do not.
No, he hasn't had a cowboy
Rock
hat.
Project. We do. Harley and Josh show. We do not promote gun violence.
No,
but it just looks cool as hell.
Yeah. Only if Tom McCarthy he can get away with anything. He's so attractive.
Yeah. No. So it went from a sort of fairly dispersed crowd to a crowd at the front holding up Aaron upside down. Yes. He was doing a handstand in the crowd, and I was just
trademark.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was the first time I'd seen that. And I was just like, it was just great. Like,
he does it at pretty much every single show. And I said, you plant people in the audience. And they're like, no. No, we get them ready for it, and it's just like, you know, crowd surfing is one thing. I've only ever crowd surfed once, I think.
Yep.
And that's only because there was definitely a crowd there that was there for us, you know.
Yeah.
But and that was with Who's Driving Bears Driving. But like, other than that, no, I've never had a big enough crowd ready for that. I don't think.
No, it's a case of surface tension when you're like flat. You know, it's
like eggs.
Yeah, you can lay flat on a
Bed of eggs.
Something that floats slightly, but if you go head first, it will sink.
Yeah.
So
get eggs.
Eggs.
Practice crowd surfing on eggs.
Yeah, do that.
Do practice gigs to eggs.
But if
just
you can
a whole room worth of eggs.
If you can do a handstand on eggs, I bet Aaron can.
I bet he could.
He could, yeah.
I bet Aaron Buchan.
Oh.
An egg. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Eggy way.
Oh.
Sorry.
I just accidentally made another pun.
Oh.
I just went, ugh.
Oh,
I didn't realise I said it until I said it. You know, I was just like, I need to tell someone because no one else would have got that.
No. It's good when you explain it.
It's very good when I explain it. Explain it.
Hey! The egg train never stops.
Oh,
exceptional.
It was, wasn't it?
What did you do the next day, Harley?
What day was the next day? It was Wednesday. I have no idea what I actually did. Let's consult the diary. I'm proud that I've got 11 minutes in without looking at my phone.
Oh, I know.
And according to this, I did nothing. I had a day at the shop, and I probably went to the cinema in the evening. Probably did. Yes.
What did you watch?
I cannot remember.
Is it Mamma Mia 2 again?
Yeah. It grows on you like a mold.
Yeah, bad rash.
And I did something on the Thursday. Oh, you know what I did on Thursday?
Oh, no, I don't.
I had a very...
So I'm asking you.
I had a very early start. And I was very tired because I had to be in Whittam for 9:30.
Oh, mate.
To set up and have a kind of rehearsal with Chart Attack.
Nice.
We met up
with... You've not heard of Chart Attack? That's Harley's other radio show on IO Radio. Talking about every brand new song of the week.
Every brand new song we talk about.
The rundown, guys. The Chart Attack.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Chart Attack. We're gonna be starting at number 20 and work our way down. Right, this one is Elton John and your song. I don't
think it's in the charts anymore. Sorry. Yeah. Why Whittam?
Well, we were meeting up with an agent for an agency, and he was very interested in working with us on some getting us some gigs and sort of thing.
Nice.
And they were based down in Hampshire, and I said as a bargaining tool to get them to come see us, I said, well, why don't we come a little bit closer? In retrospect, we didn't come much closer. They could have just stayed on the road a little bit longer and met us in Ipswich. But they had a very busy day, so we met them in Whittam. We had a little rehearsal there. And he came along with a guy, Nick, and his associate, Lucy. They came and watched us perform in a very stuffy, empty room. We did a handful of songs to show what we're all about, and they really liked what we did.
Sweet.
So... they've basically kind of said they want to work with us, but we're working on getting some new promotional material with them, and we'll be doing a lot of work with those guys, which I'm really looking forward to.
Very
It's
nice.
it's really exciting. I have to have a special shout out to Mr. Andy Bartlett.
He's good.
Andy Bartlett on guitar, Andy Guitartlet.
You can't have a Tom Guitarthy and a Tartlet.
Andy Guitartlet. I think you can. Anyone whose name can be made into a guitar, then and plays guitar, it has to happen.
That's fair.
So you had Mr. Andy Guitartlet.
Nice.
He helped us out because Oscar was away for that week, so we had no guitarist. Andy stepped in for just a rehearsal.
Great.
Just so we could kind of show the guys what we're all about.
Nice.
So I was
I give you a bit of sex appeal as well.
Yeah, it does help. He does help in that regard. Big public thank you for helping us sort of land that.
Good old boy. Bing.
Oh, we should do that. We should do a public thank you jingle. There we go. As if you haven't got enough to do this week. So yeah, that was my Thursday, and it kind of put me in a lovely good mood for the rest of the weekend.
Thursday night as well. I saw you Thursday night, didn't I?
Did see me Thursday
we
night.
had old blues jam.
Did indeed.
The Swan and
I was
Ipswich.
supposed to have rehearsal with. Oh, that was not my phone.
With your beeps.
I was supposed to have rehearsal with the Mementos, but that unfortunately got cancelled. So instead, I went to the Blues Jam, which was great fun.
Did you actually get to play with Rainer?
No.
Did you get to play with Steve Mortimer?
No.
You get both
That was
of
the most annoying
the two
thing.
people you wanted to play with.
More importantly, I wanted just to chat with Steve and say hi, because I hadn't got a chance. We were at the same gig together the other day, but he came off when I went on and had left, I think, before we managed to... before we finished their concert, so I didn't get a chance to chat with him. I really liked Steve, a lovely guy. But when I turned up, he was on stage. Then he came off when I was called up. Then I came off and he was called up. And this went on, and he left before I could finish, before the house band finished up, before I could be like, "Hey, man." So yeah, I didn't get to see him, which was annoying. But
good chat.
The highlight of my evening was being able to jam with Ben Diffley again.
Oh, that's fun.
That was a special moment.
It was you, Diffley, Tim Ainsley, and Patrick.
What's that his name?
I think his name.
Yeah.
He's a great rhythm player. Whoever he is, I need to remember his surname because he really knows how to get a groove and hold it. And over the top of Tim and Diffley going off on one, he just kept in the groove the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were as well, but I wasn't focusing on you.
Me and Ben, we kind of went into our own little world at a point. It was
I was really impressed with him because he not only found a nice groove, like doing some syncopation, going off beat on it, and not using just staying in one chord with a little bit of sort of chromatic sliding going on, but he also stayed there. He found a good groove and he stayed there, and I think that's quite difficult for a guitarist to do. It's not difficult, but it's not common.
It's as difficult as staying concentrating on the right thing. If your mind wanders and you start to sort of waver.
Well, it's a jam, isn't it? And you sort of expect to just not worry about it.
Yeah.
But then when you do and you focus, you actually do make a really great track.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
But it was some great stuff. Like me, Tim, and Ben were all bouncing off nicely off each other, and maybe his name is Pat. But we were chatting afterwards. I went up to him and said, "Oh, great playing." He's like, "Oh, thanks,
great
man."
Beard.
Yeah, lovely beard, very pointy.
Yeah.
I said to her, great playing, man. And I was like, also love your guitar. And he's like, you know what? I'm so happy you said thanks for my playing first, because everybody compliments me on my guitar. It is a 1971 Les Paul.
Is it gold top?
I don't know.
Is it cherry sunburst?
That's cherry burst. I believe. Yeah. No, it was a gold top. It was a gold top. And it was a very rare one.
Yeah.
He gave me a whole history on it, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, nice.
And he said he
This one did cocaine with Slash.
Yeah.
There's all that sort of stuff.
And but he's like, he says the guitar kind of outshines him, because it's such a everyone who knows guitars goes, wow. Yeah. And forgets about, there's actually a person playing it.
Yeah.
And without that person, it would just be floating in midair, which would be impressive in its own right. But it's not quite the same sort of playability factor.
No.
When you have a guitar that floats,
everything else goes on the window.
Yeah.
What did you do on the Friday, Harley?
So the Friday, I had a very easy day, I believe. I can't remember what I did. I know what I did. I went to the gym. I've started going to the gym, guys. I'm that guy. So
you can really tell he looks super jacked right now. I think he's on steroids.
It was funny, actually.
He's juiced.
I said to at the jam, Ben said to me, he's like, "You're looking pretty buff, man." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. I've joined the gym." I was like, "Oh, when do you start going?"
He's
I went,
lonely. He needs some...
tomorrow night. I've been a part of the gym for a while, but I hadn't been. But he, maybe just thinking about it makes you kind of buff up. Or it's just the fact that I had a haircut and it made me
that's it. Does you do
that.
Nice.
So that was fairly easy. But Saturday I was playing with Mementos.
Nice.
Which was lovely.
Was it a momentous occasion?
It was a momentous occasion.
A wedding?
It was a wedding at Belstead Hall. I don't know if you played there.
Where in what the hotel?
Not quite the hotel.
Not Belstead Brook.
No, it's next. I can't remember. It's right in the sticks of Belstead.
Okay.
But lovely place. The only problem we had, though, is it was a lovely summer's evening.
Nice.
We were inside,
Nice.
and it was a bit warm, and everybody was outside catching up with their family.
Classic.
And so we were playing to a fairly quiet crowd for the most part until it cooled down in the evening.
Yeah.
But there was a point where we were playing to two small kids, and we were like,
Nice.
"Does anyone know Bob the Builder?"
Because
Because you know,
literally, we've got to say is, can we fix it?
yeah,
I think even then, though, it might be a bit outdated now.
yeah. What's the modern day kids
I
song?
don't know. Yo, gamma, gamma.
Get Swifty.
Yeah, I guess. Swifty.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pants in your panties.
But
Greatness. Oh yeah. So, was that booked through an agency? Or was that through the bride and groom?
I think that was booked direct. I believe. I don't know for sure. 'cause
That's
I don't deal
the
with
majority of
bookings.
the weddings that I play are booked directly from the bride
Yeah.
and groom. I think it's that might be a sort of a downfall for agencies in today's era of social media and being able to have your own band website quite easily and have your own domain names. Is that there's not much point in going to agencies unless you really have no idea what you want.
Yeah.
Because you can just be like, search rock and roll band in Ipswich. We're one of the first listings that come up.
Yeah.
So if that's what they're kind of looking for, then they'll find us easy.
Yeah.
I think most of our wedding bookings either come from Googling us and emailing us through the website
Yeah.
and or Facebook.
Well, the great thing about these guys, because when they in the first email they said we want to work with you exclusively, and we went, oh, well, what does that mean? Because if that means that they want to give us gigs and we can't do anything
book
else,
stuff outside,
then
or you can't have another agency.
yeah, it's like a 360 contract. We don't want to be kind
Nope.
of stuck to that. And when we spoke to them and we mentioned that, and he made a very good point. He was just like, well, the main reason we say that is just ease. If you're booking with lots of different agents, that means if someone goes, is a band available for this date, we need to then phone you to make sure its date is still available. As long as you keep your diary up to date, they have a synced Google Calendar with us. So as long as if a gig comes, it goes on there, so we can see what days you are and aren't available. That's the main thing. And it completely puts us at ease in that sense. And he said, if you want to book a gig through for like friends or family, let us know. Just say, and they'll get them to book it through us, because then they'll do all of that work, but they won't take any commission. So they can still book gigs through the friends and family and have it done all proper way, but they won't charge us anything on a commission for like a friends or family gig, which I think is great for that kind of thing. And they also said in terms of pub gigs, they said what a lot of their bands do, if they want to do pub gigs for local promotion and stuff, book them and just let us know when they are. And they say try and book them out of the peak season, which makes sense, because we still want to be doing the odd pub gig. As
How
you
does
say,
that work
to
with
promote
other bands though? Because it's the thing, like you'll still be playing in other bands, and
Yes and
if
no.
they're looking at that calendar, that won't show that band's dates.
by then,
unless...
in that regard, that'll cover me, and I can easily get a dep in.
Right.
They're fully aware that we're all working musicians, that we can get. We may need to get cover for our gigs. They did say their only reservation is Elliot as a singer. He's got quite a great. He fronts the band well. He's got quite a character when he performs, and people might be booking for him.
Right.
So he might be the one that wants to be exclusively working with that band, which I think at the moment he pretty much does. However, they do have in their contracts that deps may need to be all booked, because if Elliot loses his voice one day and we need cover, there's not a lot we can do, save for cancelling the gig.
If he's ill or family emergency, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just got to happen, isn't it?
So, he says, make sure you've got deps for everyone.
Do you have depths for everybody in the band?
We have depths for most of us. We kind of call on them as we need to. We've only really had to get cover for Oscar so far, but we're now building up a repertoire of people who can step in for us when we need.
Oh, the same thing with Lockabilly's. Like, we've replaced everybody on short notice.
Yeah.
In the past, I have played with a full band of depths before.
Yeah. With me.
Yeah, with you definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
at Bilderston.
That's it.
Also in Grosvenor, because I had Diffley, Ben Goebel, Lloyd with his Turnbull, and I.
Yeah.
And all three of those guys were like, "I'll follow you, man."
That's the great thing with the sort of music you do, is that And also the way that you've marketed it is you're the main person. Yeah. Everyone's looking at you. There's never.
There is the problem. Therein lies the problem. The same thing with Elliot. It's like I become unreplaceable then. So like if I've booked a friend's wedding where I'm not playing, I'm just attending, then the guys can't. They can't have some work. You know, if somebody asks about it. But I might just see if I can get myself a lookalike.
Yeah. I can paint some sideburns on.
Yeah, go on. Go on. Get some engine oil in your hair.
No, I can do that. I can do
fine.
That. Mascara on my beard.
Was that your only gig this weekend?
It was. Although Sunday I had, which was yesterday for those listening live, I was at Area 51 doing some drum covers with Rainer Vandel.
Rock and roll.
He was filming me playing drums. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you are grade 2. You are a higher grade than Rainer Vandel.
I am a much more accomplished drummer than. He gets so annoyed when I say that. It's brilliant. So we worked with Tom Rout of Tom Rout Cinematography. Check the mood.
I've worked with him myself.
And we darkened out the room, Area 51, and we lit it back up again in ways that made it look awesome. Nice. I actually couldn't get to the desk at one point for most of the day, because Tom was like, I'm going to try something and put a light here. So he put a light in the control room, shining at the drums through the window. Right. And he was like, is this going to be in the way? I was like, yes. He was like, yes. Tough. I was like, okay. So the way I had the control room at one side, like all the keyboard and stuff at one side, and if I needed to make any changes to the gains on the desk, I had to crawl under the light to get to the other side. Luckily, once we'd done the first few takes, it was fine, and we got a really good drum sound. Rain was really happy with that. The video just looks incredible.
Have you signed an NDA so that we can't know what songs he's done?
I haven't signed anything, but I'm not going to say, because I think...
What about artists? Can we know what artists?
If I knew, I would.
They're too popular and current, man.
It's all pop. And
it's not Elton John on the charter tag. It's not.
No, maybe we should... can we get away with playing a drum cover on the radio show? I think we should. Because he adds a lot to the tracks. Because he's playing drums on tracks that don't have acoustic drums on. And he does some really cool bits with it.
Nice.
So I'll we'll probably play one once they're up live, and you can have links in the description to the video once they're out.
This is such a Rainer segment.
It is such a Rainer.
It's almost as Rainer a segment as David Brown's Harley and Josh show / Riding with Rainer parody that he put up.
Yeah.
We'll just see if we can find that and share it.
Oh, yeah. Again. I don't know if that was put on a public page or not. I think it must have been.
Oh, because you guys will listening in, you'll love it.
Yes. If anyone's seen the Riding with Rainer or Rainer's video cast,
if any here has ridden Rainer, you'll find it hugely pleasurable.
It's
Right then, we've been waffling on for a bit. I want to play some music.
Okay.
So pick 1, 2, or 3, Harley.
2.
2, okie dokie. So we've got some fantastic hip hop playing locally.
That had no correlation with the number I picked.
Oh, right. What was the number you picked?
I don't know. You just picked a random one.
I just went 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it's a 3-sided dice here, guys. We're playing D&D. These guys are playing locally at a hip hop event coming soon. Check around for the gig list. We will be talking about it at the end of the show. Indigo Frequency. This is a track that is on X I Don't Lie's most recent album, Eternal. This one's called Frequently. Check it out. That was Frequently by X I Don't Lie, featuring Indigo Frequency, who are playing live this weekend. You can check that out in the gig list at the end there. So, Harley, I did things too.
Well.
Oh, didn't I? What did I do?
Yeah, what did you do? Tell me.
Very good
and
question,
you.
Actually,
tell yourself.
Because I haven't checked my thing. Well... you might have noticed that last week I was in the studio with some very, very talented people that you have also been in the studio with.
Yeah.
I got to be in the studio for 2 days straight with the Coco, which is Ben Diffley, Jake Marshall-Tierney, Alfie Harris, and KZ. Mm-hmm. All of them phenomenal players. Played every single one of my new original tracks. that are the sort of soulful ones, all live in the room, no overdubs, apart from one, which was a spoken word track, which is quite difficult for me to do non-rhythmically.
Of course,
over playing guitar.
yeah.
That was the thing. Like I was like, I could try and play it, speak it and play, but it's kind of like, dividing up your body. It's like being rhythmic with your hands, but being completely free with your head, which is I find very difficult.
Yeah.
If I was Gil Scott Heron, it's slightly different, but I'm not. But some of this stuff actually, I think it sounds quite Gil Scott Heron actually.
Yeah.
Because I get quite talky in it. So if anybody here likes Gil Scott Heron, that sort of like poet style version of singing, he's the same sort of thing as maybe Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, or Bob Dylan, or oh crikey, Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing where you've got they're phenomenal musicians, but they can also really speak to an audience, not just by singing. So I'm trying to emulate that a bit. I'm not trying to put myself on the same platform as them, but it's that sort of trying to get my word across. With the Lockabilly stuff, I've been personal with it, but I've been trying to make it so much less about my experience and more about shared experiences. But this one has been more about my kind of life experiences and trying to put them through music. I couldn't have asked for a better band. Maybe I've got a better one this week, but who knows?
Wow.
Who knows? Or a better studio and engineer to work with, because Dean Amos from Sugar Ray's Vintage Recording Studio, just like, he's such an enabler in terms of a producer.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, I find, when I am recording with a band, not to say, maybe try this, or I don't know, get agitated when people aren't getting it wrong. We're getting it wrong consistently, sort of thing. Or if they're wasting time just faffing about and just laughing about in the studio and stuff.
Yeah.
We were doing that. In between takes, we'd just be talking. He's like, guys, we're rolling. But he wouldn't be sitting there going, oh, for God's sake. Yeah. It would just literally be like, he would introduce the song, tell us we're rolling, the tape, because it's all done on tape, which is just crazy. On these old Ampex tape players and tape recorders, and he would be like, tapes rolling, this is Predicament, Josh Locke and friends, as he called us.
Wow. Yeah.
And they kept on laughing at each other. I was like, oh, you're not my friends. It's like, we're only here because you pay us.
Ben did say that he found the engineer really easy to work with, and he was like, you're gonna do well with this guy, because he's really, really easy to work with, and
he's passionate about the music as well. He'll sit there and say, like, this is great about the song. He won't just sit there and say, oh, this particular sound is good. He will say that, but he'll just be like, oh, I like the movement of this verse into that one, sort of thing, and the difference between there. And he's like, I like the intricacies that you guys have picked out from each other's playing to vibe off of. Because each of the takes, I've got so many takes that even on my phone, I can show them to you in a bit. Oh, you've already heard some, actually.
You played me some.
I did show you some on Thursday, where like some takes will be completely different, and others where we really had started to get into the vibe of it, slightly easier for us to get into. The song starts to exactly. But it was a wonderful experience to be able to record with the Coco. 2 days, just for me, went from a band playing with each other to brothers, because we had the drive there and back. Got to sort of like hang out with each of them individually, to just talk to them more. KZ was just fascinating. He's a very fascinating man. Yeah, he's very he's a teacher. He's a great player. He's a great DJ. So it was the first time I'd really been able to spend some time alone with him. And just same with Alfie, same with Jake. Definitely, I mean, poor guy's been stuck with me for many years now. But those guys, it was really fun to just be able to sit there and hear about their musical experience.
And that, when I worked with a Coco, I found the same, that it was great to sort of, Alfie, we chat quite a lot because we're bass players, so we nerd off.
What you people do, isn't it?
We nerd, but like Jake and KZ, a couple of guys that I've known musically for a long time, but never really got a chance to just sort of speak to them as a person and have a laugh, and a studio, it can be quite a good place to sort of do that and to sort of to get to know someone. Definitely, which is great.
So that was my Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday was Blues Jam. I was part of the house band, so that was the first time in ages.
Yeah.
Was it Andy playing bass?
Yeah.
His name was Andy. He was playing a lefty. Well, he was playing a right-handed bass, but strung for a lefty.
Yeah.
Which I thought was it's great, proper Hendrix style. Dan Dolman on the drums, who actually played one of my original tracks from the Lockabillys.
Yeah.
We did She's Dangerous, which has like a 32-bar drum solo in the middle of it.
No.
And I, unbeknownst to the rest of the band, I was like, it's a D minor jam, but instead of going straight to the 5, it goes to a flat 6. So quite a fun thing where you can sit there and chuck in a B flat instead of just going from 5 to 4.
Yeah.
So it was really fun because in the middle of it, he had a drum solo, and I snuck in a wine bottle and when the drumstick, and so just grabbed out from behind my amp and started going ding 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 ding.
Nice.
Got that out to the audience, so people that were there watching that were only there to watch. They don't play an instrument. The bottle got passed around the audience to bang along with it.
Sweet.
Which is one of the things that I do at the wedding shows.
Yeah.
I'll take them along, and for any of the gigs really, where there's not a massive, great big barrier in between me and the audience. I don't have to jump down from the stage to give somebody a bottle. I'll do it. So that was really fun. It was nice to play with those guys again. It's been a long time since I have been able to go to the Blues Jam because we have Rock Project on Thursdays, don't we?
That's it. That's why part of why I was so happy to be able to make it this time round, because I think it happened before when there was Blues Jam on a school holiday, and I was like, I had something else on. I was like, for all the weeks that I could have gone, but I not thought ahead and booked something else up. I was like, well.
Yeah. Well, being able to do it is a pleasure, and I think
it is.
If we make it an obligation to go every time, it becomes a chore.
Yeah.
And jams are just supposed to be for fun for us musicians.
I know Ben Diffley and Andy Bartlett both. They did it. They were house band for years, and they stopped being house band and just didn't go back for a long time because it became, like I say, it became a bit too humdrum. It became too routine.
Yeah.
There was not that excitement at the beginning of each one.
So moving on, because I haven't got much time to talk about my stuff. It's Friday, Ipswich High School. I got to play at Ipswich School next to Christchurch Park for a wedding for Ben and Rebecca Catchpole, now Mr. and Mrs. Thanks for booking us, guys. That was wonderful because I hadn't been to the Ipswich School for a long time. A lovely hall in there. And they had like fish and chips, just 4 people.
Nice.
And a casino. They set up a casino at a wedding, crazy. But yeah, we learnt their first dance song for them, which was it was an Elvis track what was it called? And I Love You So. I first thought he meant Love Me Tender, because he goes, and I love you so.
Yeah.
But actually the song starts up, and I love you so. It's a completely different thing. It's like a slow jam sort of thing.
Right.
Full disclosure, I'd forgotten we were supposed to be doing that until the day.
Oh.
Thing is, I'd listened to the track when he requested it, and I was like, oh, that's super easy.
Oh,
it was just a 3 4 1 6. No, 3 5 1 6 chord structure. So we did it in G, so that would have been A minor, D, G, E minor. Only those 4 chords the whole time. And I was like, guys, just watch me for the changes. Rainer, there's no stops, so you're fine on the drums.
Just go until I say playing. Don't go.
Yeah, and I said just build,
Yeah.
And it worked really perfectly. Wonderful crowd. We did the bottle thing,
nice.
We had about 6 or 7 wine bottles out. I wrap them in cling film. Just because otherwise.
Have you mentioned that on the show before? I know I've heard it before. Yeah.
Yes, I have. Oh, I'm a broken record, and I spin me around like a broken underlined sky. Sorry. So
I should have known that.
But yeah, so that was a wonderful wedding. What a beautiful wedding. Who's that?
Oh, that was Planet at the Disco.
Yay! Planet at the Disco. Captain Planet at the Disco? No, it doesn't work.
Planet Express.
Yeah, there we go. Starlight Express. That was Friday. That was it was a full wedding show. I did discount them for a bit because David Housden, who's an old friend of ours, sort of got in touch to book us for it. So I was like, all right, mates rates, a little bit of mates rates, but it was it was good. And it's enough that I didn't have any other gigs over the weekend, so it was all right for me to sort of not have to do that. So Saturday, I got to go out to Maritime Festival.
Yeah, boy.
Which was wonderful. There was a BBC Suffolk stage where I only saw 3 acts, which was Hot Tramp. I love Hot Tramp. Albion Mills, where they had a special guest from Giles King. They played When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin, who I've never seen anybody cover that.
No.
Fun fact, Lewis Gray from Hot Tramp and I were talking about it. When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin is a cover, and that song is actually from 1927. I'm going to have to find out what the Kansas Jim something. Kansas.
Did not know that. That's brilliant.
Kansas Joe McCoy and Memphis Minnie. 1927. It's a wonderful track. Like Robert Johnson kind of style.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. So check that out. It's a really old recording, but wonderful song. So yeah, Albion Mills did a great set. And I've forgotten what their new... Is it Dusky Sunday? I think they're called now. Sam Thurlow, Sam Bongo Boy, and Fern Tether.
Yeah.
Funny though, Sam Bongo Boy was actually playing congas.
Conga Boy.
So I was like, false advertisement, Sam.
Awkward. Yeah.
Bring your bongos next time, boy. Bongo Boy.
Bongo Boy.
Bongo Boy.
Great boy.
But yeah, so then we moved along. I was hanging out with Josh Carr, Sophie and Chloe Wood, and Diffley for a long time, and the guys from Indigo Frequency for points as well.
Nice,
moved further along to, there was a beer tent over the other side of the river. And this is where I'm going to go on a rant. Tick it off your bingo cards, guys.
Right, Josh Rant.
Longing the Gospel Trash were playing.
Yeah.
We've played them on the show here before, but man, was I disappointed. Like, they would, like, I'm sure they played all right, but they kept on faffing about in between songs, and also the audience weren't that into him. So what did he do? He berated them. He was sitting there going, "Come on, Ipswich, what's wrong with you? It's Saturday night. You know, there's some good music playing here." And like he said, evidently this is the stage where you come to get real music, because over the river, there's all there is just S-word cover bands and old blokes. And I just shout, I was heckling them. I was like, "No, Hot Tramp are over there, Dusky Sunday, Fern Tether." I said, "That's all original good music." And he says, "All right, you can go and take this bloke and get his yacht, calling me a rich boy, and go over there with him." And I was like, "Don't berate your audience, you idiot."
That's not cool.
Not cool. Like, if you're bombing, it's not the audience's fault, it's your fault.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're playing and people aren't dancing, aren't into it, it sometimes helps to go, "Look, I hope you're all right. I hope you're enjoying the music. You can sit and listen. That is fine."
Yeah.
Some people
do not dictate how people enjoy music.
Exactly that.
And like I've heard from inside sources just how awful he has been to other musicians. Like a good friend of mine, she was invited on stage with them, turned up, and they just denied all knowledge of her, and also tried to I don't know, they were hitting on her basically. Again, this could be hearsay, I don't know, but like they were talking about it like just like an object, and I'm not okay with that. I consider myself a feminist or an equalitist, so you don't do that.
No.
And everybody I was hanging out with in the audience was with the same with me. There was one guy who was a promoter. He was just like, "Aren't they great?" I said, "No, they're awful." Well, actually, the band were great. It's just him as a front man. No, I do not appreciate that. Just being up himself. He was like, thought he was like Noel Gallagher or something. No, Liam Gallagher, sorry.
Was it? I've probably said this 1,000 times, but Urs Clarke from Horsefire said, the moment you get on stage, you are the least important person in that room, because everyone else's enjoyment is far more important than yours.
I think so too. I will agree with that.
If you can enjoy yourself doing it, but as long as they're enjoying themselves, doing however they like to say.
So we heckled. Josh Carr from Hot Tramp and I were heckling, and after a while we were just like, "Screw it, we're leaving here," and we went to watch Easttown Pirates, which was phenomenal. It was such a good show.
Rainer said it was the busiest one
really
they've ever seen the Steamboat.
God, because I was in the mosh pit the whole time. You'll see my brand new shoes got a little bit. These are bright white Nikes, and now they yesterday, if you'd have seen these, they were pretty much black, because I'm moshing with a bunch of people with Dr. Martens.
Yeah.
I just got trodden on. But I loved it. It was so good. Like Murray was there watching it with me. Dave Brown was there watching it with me.
Yeah,
in the mosh pit, we were just proper getting like Larry, And it was like being 16, 17 again.
Because I was chatting with you yesterday, and you were just like how achy you were.
I was in pain. I was slightly hungover as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't go to a punk show and not have a few beers.
No, it's the culture of that kind of thing, and you really get into it. Like I'm
not condoning drinking now.
And know your limits, people.
Yes, know your limits.
Is that the word?
Yes, yeah. Punk, drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't say how this bad. So, and then Sunday, I can't remember what I did Sunday. I was just hanging out, packing my house down because I'm moving house.
Yeah,
so,
boy.
Yeah, so I've just sort of been, I helped Rich Webb move a sofa. I helped Murray move a sofa. And I moved my own sofa. I moved 3 sofas in a day.
You're a man with a van now.
Yes,
welcome to the club.
Oh, no. That's been like that for the past 4 years since having the Chevy. I've helped so many friends move out.
Yep.
They're like, oh, you got a van? Well, yeah, we don't have to pay for somebody to do anything, so we'll give you a cup of tea. But yeah, I'm happy to help people that are family, you know?
Yeah.
Like Rich. Anyway, so moving on, we have a lot to talk about on the gig list. So, ladies and gentlemen, Harley, have you got something you want to promote first?
This weekend. What is happening this weekend? Oh, I have got lots to promote, yeah. So, I've got 2, not 1, but 2 public gigs with Chart Attack this weekend.
Wonderful. Where?
I got Friday night, I will be playing at the Golf Hotel. Wow, you know this better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
We got, so Chart Attack will be there. We'll also
Vauxhall Road, isn't it?
And the following night, we will be at the Grand Central in Ipswich.
Wow. Is that the first time you played there?
First time we've played at Grand Central, yeah. We'll be doing different sets on both nights.
Great.
Which will just be great fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Quick suggestion, they have a big screen in there. I would recommend, you might already know this, but I'm going to say it to anybody listening in, take a USB stick with your logo on it and put it into their computer, and they can put the logo on that big screen while you're playing, instead of them, because the amount of times I've played there and they're playing YouTube videos and people are watching that instead of the band. So yeah.
Thank you, because I went in there the other day and they told me the same thing. They said, if you want to put your logo on there, bring in a PowerPoint presentation or a load of photos. Yeah. So I was like, great, yep, I'll do that, and I haven't done it. So I'm now going to go home tonight and do that.
Cool, man. So you got Friday and Saturday public gigs?
Friday, Saturday, and then I've got a private wedding on the Sunday as well, which will be great.
Where's that?
That is at Newmarket. It's at the Granary Barn in Newmarket. We've played there before with the Mementos. We had our old keys player Nick White join with us, and he's back with us again this weekend.
Oh, wonderful!
So he's done 2 gigs with us this weekend at the same venue.
Quit.
Yeah.
For God's sake, let me go.
I think he's just been staying there the whole time. He's just been sitting there in the dark. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, cool. So, I'll get on to the gig list then, sir.
Go ahead, son.
This Friday, August 24th, is the debut launch night of Ferry Fest at Felixstowe Sailing Club.
Yes.
It's the first time Ferry Fest has happened. So, if you're a Felixstowean or an Ipswichian or just a Suffolkian, if you are suffocated, like we are, get yourself down to the ferry. That's a whole weekend of not only just music. There's myself and the Lockabillies will be playing on Friday night, as well as the Craze.
Yes, of course they're there.
Yes, of course. So Dermot Gardner, son of Stetson's a cool Matt Gardner.
That's it.
So yeah,
Mark.
That's my bad. So yeah, too many M's. So that's going on all weekend. So check them out. There's Mike. No. So August 25th. There's a lot going on this weekend because it's a bank holiday.
Yeah.
So there's much happening. So August 25th from 2 p.m. Hoax are holding a bank holiday party at Cult with some fantastic acts. They got Rats. They got Franco Fraze, Thick as Thieves, Impilo, Naked French, Alfie Indra, and Pale Girls. So Gab will be playing that twice with Pale Girls and Impilo. So check that out.
I'm going to try and get along to that because I'm going to be playing up the road in the evening, so I'm going to try and swing along for the afternoon, make a day of it.
I think Impilo are playing first, I believe.
Oh, mate, I get to see them.
So you'll be able to see them. Okay, so also August 25th, you've got Scar Mania 5 at the Rep in Ipswich from 7:30. That's August 25th. August 24th, you've already talked about that actually. Sorry. August 25th, Dream McLean, Rye Shabby, British, and Indigo Frequency, who you heard earlier. What's that?
Dave just texted me saying, he's only just realised it's Monday, and he's not. He wasn't. He's only just realised.
Oh, sad.
So
Indigo Frequency. We played that track featuring, that they were featuring from X I Don't Lie. So check that out. That's this Saturday, I believe it's in the Manor Ballroom. So that's the 25th. Also, there's the Briarbank Beer Festival going on this weekend as well. You can catch Jackson Co there on Friday.
Nice.
August 26th now, we're on the Saturday. We have Albion Mills playing the Railway. I saw them, I caught them on the BBC Suffolk stage last Saturday. They were wonderful. They played some great covers. They did some Doors. Who else did they do? They did a great cover which I've never heard anybody else play. Well, they did When the Levee Breaks, but they've got loads of stuff like that. So yeah, they do The Who, they do The Seeker. I love that track.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so we also have the Windrush 70th celebration. So celebrating all the immigrants that came over from the West Indies and things like this. Just celebrating 70 years of that. With all this scandal going on recently.
Yeah.
I think if you felt insulted by that, and you want to celebrate that culture, get down to Bournevale Social Club in Ipswich this Sunday 26th at 12 o'clock.
Sweet.
Nice. Akabusi's Sunday School all dayer at the Black Horse in Ipswich. I think I'm going to play one of the artists from that after this.
Cool.
Because that's a fantastic lineup, it looks like. I'll see if I can find it because I didn't write down who was actually playing. I know Chemical are playing, Italian Books, Cheap Heat, Killer Corp, and Moth Cob, but also A Horse Called War. Have you heard of them?
No.
A Horse Called War are wonderful, and I want to play them later on. So that's the Horse Called War are playing 8:30. We're going to finish off the show with them. If you like your sludge, you like your doom, you like a bit of just grit in your teeth, check them out. And also Borderlands Festival this weekend on Sunday. They've changed the venue. It's no longer at Milsom's Kesgrove Hall.
Okay.
It is now at Gresham's. Gresham's,
yes.
So it's kind of like
I always get those two mixed up anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. It's near Northgate High School.
Yeah.
So on the main stage, they've got City Glow, Connor Adams, Pessimist, Sore Conscience, Sarah Probert, Fisticuffs, The High Points, and Impilo, our faves. And on the acoustic stage, they've got Peter Hepworth, Behind the Nut, Lauren Jennifer, Dystopian Sound Collective, False Colours, Poppy Scarlett, James Nunn, Emily Gray, Stu Philpott, Luke Sanders, Deadwood Drummers, End Notes, James Morgan, The Soul Project, and Two Dog Saloon. Shout out to Spoonie. John's done a really, really great job of putting those acts together.
Yeah.
He tried to book us for that, but we've got a wedding on Sunday, so we can't do it. So you can catch the Lockabillys also at Dedham Vale Vineyard. I've got 3 gigs in Dedham this weekend.
How many times have you played in Dedham this year?
This will be the only 3. So it's Dedham. I'm doing Stoke by Nayland.
Yeah.
Then I'm doing Dedham Vale Vineyard, and then I'm doing the Toll Booth.
Right.
In Dedham, all over Saturday and Sunday, all unrelated shows.
That's mad.
It never happens.
Dedham gigs, they're like buses.
They all come 3 at a time on one weekend in Dedham. That'd be useful. But yeah, so you can get tickets for that because Hot Tramp are also playing.
Yeah.
There is. I'm trying to see who else. Because it's Pink Shed, Polly Haynes and Tom are putting it on. So it's us, the Lockabillys, Hot Tramp, Peter Hepworth, Artwork, and Stretch Soul Gang. So that's this whole weekend sorted for you guys. So if you haven't found yourself a good gig to go to in that gig list, you are mental.
Cool.
So we're signing off, mate, because I've been yapping on.
I'll be. I've had a few people texting actually. Joe Bowman.
Any bingos?
No bingos yet. So listen on the podcast. But you might have to rewind back if you're hearing this anymore. So Joe Bowman says listening in, really enjoyed it. Rainer says.
Boy.
He says, I hope you didn't say which songs I recorded on the show, so good thing we didn't say.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. David Brown says, sorry I missed it, listen to the podcast. And my dad just texted me saying my pet sparrow died. Maybe his...
What's going to happen? He lived a good life.
Yes, about a week. We had it a week. Oh, anyway, so...
my condolences.
Yeah.
For you, this one's called... I can't even think about it now. It's called A Horse Called War. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Love you. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, buddy.